Okay, so the live chat's up. And everything's here. Alright, so, okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a live stream here Sunday at Outback Mini Models. As promised last week, I'm going to show you the new SMS Advance paint. Okay, so this is it in front of us. This is like, we've got another thank again the guys at Scale Auto Hobbies for sponsoring this video and just also sponsoring the channel. So, and I actually had the pleasure of going in store yesterday and talking to some of the you guys that do subscribe to Outback and managed to have a chat, and some of you guys had questions about airbrushing that, so, and I was more than happy to show you and walk you guys through it, so hopefully now that's not so daunting. But today we're actually going to have a look. This is the entire range of the new SMS Advanced paints. The only three bottles we don't have is the flat clear, semi-gloss clear, and the gloss. Okay, they're the only three. So there's 48 in the range, including those three. Here we have the 45. So yeah, so we're just gonna set up a little bit here, and I'm gonna talk about pretty much what we're gonna need, what we're gonna use. We're gonna experiment today, like how well these airbrush, because you can airbrush and brush paint these. We're also gonna look at how well they brush to a certain point. And I remember Scotty saying in one of the comments in, I think, my last video, someone had a question about brush painting, and he just clarified, which is good. So thanks for doing that, Scotty. That's a big help. Obviously, you know, Scotty's the director of the Scale Molar Supply here in Australia, so he's always around answering questions. So, I mean, the live chat's open, guys, too. So if you've got any questions, anything that you want to see, you know, just leave a comment, and I'll see it. Okay, so what else are we gonna look at? We're also gonna look at how well these spray. We're gonna look at how the SMS leveler works with this advanced paint, because I've noticed as well that all these paints, they're not matte. Like if you know me, I'm so used to using a matte finish on a paint, like whether it's matte green, because I do a lot of military, so it's matte paint. So a lot of these, I think nearly all of these, besides the metallics, because they do say metallic on there, all the other colors in this range, and I'll just zoom out just a little bit so you can see, hopefully the camera, no, that's as far as it goes, without adjusting the boom on the camera. But the thing, what's that? So besides metallics, all the other colors here are gloss. So I'm going to have a play with, and I want to do this so you know with me as well, what we can, what we can't do, how far we can push this paint when it comes to thinning, and to brush painting. And then this is more of a trial video for us here at Outback, so, you know, for future videos we sort of know what we're doing. But I think it'd be a perfect opportunity for me to do this video for me, and then you can see like my mistakes, and then how we sort of rectify all this stuff. So, and I'm thinking that, and I know with acrylic paint, these are acrylic lacquers, so when a lot of people get confused with acrylic lacquers, you know, they're acrylics. Like, so you can use water and stuff with it. So no, that's not correct, because I've been asked that, I got asked that quite a few times yesterday at Scale Autos Hobbies here in Mackay. Some of the guys were questioning me when I was standing around these SMS stands, just helping people, you know, with their queries and airbrushing, things like that. So, but no, the acrylic lacquer, the acrylic part is the pigment in the paint. Okay, so that's where the acrylic comes in, and the lacquer is lacquer. So like it's a solvent, it's a hot product. So I don't think you can just go and add water and wash your airbrush out with water, because it's not going to work, guys. You're going to need like lacquer thinners. SMS do their own lacquer thinners. I don't have a bottle here. If you're in Australia, or it doesn't really matter, I guess. If you're in the US, I mean, you could easily, if I can just move this out of the way for a second, you can just grab yourself a tin of this. It comes in a litre tin. I believe these are about, don't quote, because I haven't bought this for a very long time. They're probably about $20-something, $20 a tin, Australian, give or take. But that's just, yeah, general purpose lacquer thinners. That'll work, thinning out the SMS, whether it's you're thinning out, you know, the original, love the stuff being used for ages, Palm built modeling. Yes, well, yeah, so I've been, like, to my left, if in my last video, I think I did, well, no, it wasn't my last video, it was probably the video before, just a Sunday bench time video. I actually did a tour around my cave, and you see there's actually a fairly large collection of SMS, the original bottles next to me. But yeah, lacquer thinners, that works. And I'm just gonna put that to the side. And the last video that I actually done, the advanced video, not the review. It's just, I think it's like not a review video, I think the last one was called. But you would have seen in the video that I did talk about using the Tamiya products, the lacquer products, thinners in the paint. They work a treat, and that's what we'll be using today. So I actually had a guy yesterday talk to me, J-Man, if you're watching, mate. Yeah, I think he was going to pick up some, but I just said, yeah, it's very easy to use, and he was actually new to airbrushing, so yeah, you can't go wrong with Tamiya products. So we're going to look at that, using that with the normal lacquer thinners. I mean, these do work. You can mix these two together to basically make that if you don't have it. So there's that, and we're going to look at a comparison, how close we can get these advanced paints to the originals, because like I said, they're gloss paints, like it's a gloss coat, they're gloss colors, so it's they're gonna have to lay down some flat on top, and I'm gonna try and mix it in there, see if I can sort of knock back the sheen on this paint. So that's enough talking about what we're going to do. Let's actually have a look at the paints themselves. So like I said, there's 45. We have 45 colors here in front of me. 48 in the range, including the three, the clear coats in there, which we don't have and we don't use, because I do have here beside me the three colors in the original SMS range here. These are the 30ml bottles, so I didn't really need to buy the smaller bottles, especially when I have, yeah, lots and lots of it beside me. But these paints I'm curious about. Okay, so what do we got in front of us? So in the red range, Scotty's got the Carmine Red. Okay, so if I bring these here, so we've got Carmine Red. We have Wine Red, which is kind of like a whole red. Like, it's, yeah, so if you, I think where's the brown? So we got red oxide and whole red are very similar. Okay, so we'll get to those in a second. We have Crimson, which is a really nice poppy red, and we got like a Waratah. It's just more of a lipstick red, I guess you could say. And then in the pinks, and I've laid these out sort of in shades and accordingly, so it's sort of as in the layers. So we've got lilac, so it's like the pinky purpley range. We got lilac, magenta, I say ages, I mean a few weeks. That's cool. Magenta, we have violet, and we got rose pink, purple. I just gave these bottles a shake probably about 10 minutes ago, so if they're starting to settle back to, you know, all the pigments are going back down the bottom, I do apologize. So I'll just give these another shake. And in the metallic range, we have rich gold. If I show you down the bottom, because it's pretty hard because the label, you've got to try and look up the top here. We've got rich gold, advanced dark copper, and copper. Got to stop saying advanced because it just seems like it's a it's the name of the color, but it's the name of the paint. In the metallics up the top, we have silver, platinum, gunmetal, zinc, and obsidian. Okay, obsidian's like a really dark, It's almost like a black, grey, metallic. It's just a beautiful looking colour, and I'm actually really interested today to see what this actually looks like. And I've got a bunch of spoons beside me. So yeah, and this one here I'm also really interested in, because the first one went to Scar Lordo's Hobbies. This whole row of this color was sold out, and Shane was saying whoever bought it, used it, tried it, got feedback from it, and said this color is absolutely amazing. So yeah, we're all after and I asked Mark in the store, one of the guys that actually is in store as well, and I said, well, what's the equivalent to this? And he said probably something like the Super Silver, in the original SMS range. So yeah, so it's equivalent, but yeah, but these are 10 mil, being really thick. And in the greens, okay, we have dark green, olive, we have moss green, lime green, and then from the original video that we'd done, we had the advanced the glow, just glow in the dark paint. We got the black, finally got the black, and then on the very sort of bottom, coming down the bottom rows, we have brown, dark brown, red oxide, and then the oranges, we have marigold, orange, mandarin, sunflower, mustard, and canary yellow. I mean, like, I don't know if the camera picks it up. So, but yeah, you can see like that mustard is pretty much on point. And like, I don't like mustard, I hate mustard itself, but yeah, it's, so 3 very different yellows there. And then the whites, or I'm going to call this my highlight range. That's why I've laid these out kind of here. We got warm white, off-white, standard white, or just white, and then we have sand. Okay, so this sand color, so as we sit right now, we don't have desert yellow, like that's not in the range. So you know, like say colors like, and I'm just going to go back to the original SMS range beside me on the left. So standard colors like German sand yellow. Okay, so most of us armor modelers know it as Dunkelgelb. Okay, and the other, so Germans, they don't. So if you can see, this color's not in the range at all. So there's only a new range of paint. So hopefully, as the range expands and colors like these, we'll start to see like these colors in the range. So yeah, so there's your sand. That's a very, it's almost a white, creamy sort of color is probably the best way to explain it. Because I know looking at it through a computer monitor or a device that you're looking through right now, the colors are very, very different. So yeah, that's like a very, what's the closest? If I go through, if I go through my old colors, I just had it before. Olive drab, sea green, camo black. It's more like a beige, I think it is. Middle stone. No, it's, so you can see the original middle stone from SMS and the sand. It's very, very similar, but not at the same time. Can you sort of see the difference? Like it's more of a, yeah, it's really hard to explain, but yeah, it's not white. Okay, just that's pretty much all I'm saying. And then in the grays we have graphite, pastel gray, neutral gray, and charcoal. Charcoal's like a very dark gray, so you know, charcoal's not, as I know, charcoal is like super dark gray, like a black almost. But yeah, this is like a dark, almost like a panzer gray. Okay, so they're the 3 there. And in the very, very last row, we have royal blue, ocean blue, navy blue, turquoise, and teal. Okay, that teal's a really nice color as well. I really like this one. All right, so that is the colors. Now let's, time to shut my mouth a little bit, and then I'm going to just have a sip of my coffee, because it is only 9:45 here in the morning in Australia on Sunday. All right, so we're going to talk about, and I'm just going to grab a, and this is what I used yesterday down at Scale Autos for my airbrush demonstration, because a couple of guys down there, they use rattle cans. They always ask me about coming in store and showing them how to airbrush, and I said this was a demo. This, like, I don't really build cars, and this was in my stash. I ended up giving the rest of the kit away to Shane. He had I just kept the shell just for demonstration purposes. So that's what we're going to be using. And if you're wondering what I'm folding out, these are the puppy mats I talk about. Like the puppy pee pads. They're brilliant for airbrushing. You just lay them out. And I've got a big window open in front of me. And I've got a big ceiling fan on full crank above me, so don't stress. All right. So we're going to look at that. So straight up, I mean, pick a color, guys. Like, while I know there's, 3 of you guys watching, just pick a color, what you guys want to see, because I'm going to brush paint something first. And then we'll go from there. So, I mean, I'm doing this, guys. I'm doing this video for you two guys. So, join in. Don't feel like you got to sit back and not say anything. Just imagine I'm sitting in front of you in a table there. All right, zinc. You want to see zinc? All right, let's have a squeeze. All right, so it's going to give us a shake. I really should have primed something in black for this metallic to work. It was once I got home yesterday from the hobby shop, I pretty much just crashed out because I started work at, like, I was up at 2 to go to work, had to open up the concrete plant at 3. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to grab a brush. Hopefully this doesn't ruin one of the SMS brushes. So, got an SMS number 2 brush. Okay, so... Oh, ceiling fan's off. I was running while it's hot. Alright, turn this on. Alright. And then I'm going to just grab a little paint dish or something. Hang on a sec, guys. Haha! Drug tray. These are those little medicine tablet things I was talking about in the other video as well. So if you need something quick and easy, you want to see lime green as well. So Dwayne, copy that. So consider that done. So these are the 2 colors we're going to have a look at. Because we looked at every single color, we'll be here all day, wouldn't we? So, all right. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some, I might grab the retarder type, dip some of that, wipe it out. So give this another. So I might use this one for the zinc, and I'll use this piece here. No, they're good. Yeah, so we use this for the lime green. Yeah, Pom Built Modeling just comments. He goes, I'm not the only one that uses them things. I normally use mine for glues. Something else I've actually started using too is I kind of stopped collecting them because starting to get a few now, but these are the Pringles lids. Yeah, they're good for, like, little paint trays and stuff, and then, like, the paint doesn't actually stick to them, like, they just peels off. So if you get, like, the Pringles lids, like, just once you pop, the paint just doesn't stop sticking and goes away. But yeah, see, it just scratches off quite easily. So yeah, there's another tip. If your kids eat Pringles, yeah, but these are the store brand ones, like the cheap Povo non-Pringles, but I'm pretty sure, okay, no, there you go. That's the Pringles lid, because that's the small one, because they've actually gotten smaller, but the store brand ones are actually a little bit bigger. So we'll just test the Pringles. Yeah, Pringles lid, same thing. You know, a bit of hot water will will work. So, ta-da, there you go, see? That's why you got to watch these live streams, guys, because I'm full of ideas. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's brush this on. So I'm just going to get some retarder, because I know this paint it's actually thick, because remember Scott was saying this is kind of like his version, SMS's version of the Tamiya acrylics and the Mr. Hobby acrylics. Okay, so which is why it's thick, and you get sort of bang for your buck, because you only, they're charging $4 here in Australia for a 10 ml bottle, but so you thin that out, you're getting, so it's at 10 mils, 20 mils, so you're getting a 20 ml bottle of, because they're saying thin it out 50-50, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but like I said at the start of the video, I'm going to try and push this paint and see how actually far I can thin this, because I like to spray quite thin, but I want to see if I can push it slightly a little bit more. And alright, so let's see, I'll zoom in a bit, so you can see this all right, guys. It's not too blurry, or I don't know, it is blurry sort of on my other screen that I'm looking at, but I think I've got it set down to low pixel count, so it doesn't chew up my data or my internet stream, sort of give everything to this video here. But normally when they're uploaded, or once I finish streaming, they come back out as, I think it's 720, I think. I don't think these are 1080. I'm only using my iPhone 12 here, so let's have a look. Let's get this light down. And I've never really been a fan of brush painting metallics anyway, unless, you know, like using like the wall, you know, like the tabletop paints, especially. I think the only paint I did brush paint, the metallic I did brush paint used to be the old Model Air Chrome, I think it was. That was a really nice color. Yep, so I don't know if I'm thinning this out too much, because I've only done it, but I'm going to try it. Hang on a sec, where is it? There it is. I'm going to try it just straight out of the bottle, and then after that we'll try and spray it. Like, I'm only taking their word for it, guys, when they said it was awesome, so yeah. And why I was like very, what's the word, skeptical of when they said you could brush paint this. I mean, you guys know that lacquer is a hot product, so it's not like acrylics, you know, when they dry you can just brush paint over it. Lacquers are a hot product, so which means, you know, I'm only explaining to the guys that don't really understand it and they're new to lacquer paints. If you know, like, because you can reactivate with the solvents, so underneath, you know, you actually activate the acrylics underneath it. It just eats through everything, including the plastic. So all I've done here, I've just put some lacquer thinners in this little tray thing, and I'm just cleaning out my brush because I'm too lazy to get a big jar. So, and yeah, I don't know if it just needs more layers, but that's kind of what I got with just brush painting it. And this is only one color too, guys. I'm not saying if this is, you know, don't be put off by just this one little trial. So that was kind of from there, that way was the mix with the lacquer thinners, the retarder, and then from here across was with just straight out of the bottle. Okay, so we're going to try the green. All right, so and then Okay, straight up, I'm just going to try it straight out of the bottle. So this is the lime green that was requested by Dwayne. Alright, so let's have another look. And I was going to change this light. Change it more to a white light. Oops, hang on. And being gloss paint too, that makes it hard to brush. If it was a matte paint, it might be a little bit easier. And I'm just going to grab some of this thinners here, and I'm just going to dump some in this end. And this is the retarder type. I'm using the orange cap Tamiya, so. Okay, so that's straight out of the bottle, and this one here is thinned out. And probably thinned it out too much, so we'll try some more. I think greens are hard colour as well. Green's like yellow, especially this light green. That's only one, so we'll let this set a little bit and I'll come back to it. But yeah, we'll just brush this out, clean all this crap out of it. And I'm going to what do I do with it? Okay. Okay. And you've got a lot of friends that drink beer and all that sort of stuff, keep beer caps. Was it this beer is enjoyed responsibly? Yeah, right. Alright, so I'm just trying to get that green, and I'm going to try go over this silver again. I'll just try these two colours, and then we'll prep the airbrush. We'll get it ready for spraying. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so get some more in here. All I'm doing is just getting some of the zinc back in this little medicine thing. What do you call it? A tablet blister? I had no idea. Alright, so wet the brush just ever so slightly. Okay, so this one here was the one that we used with the thinners in, so we'll just try to go over again. What's it do if we just sort of touch? Let's just move this camera a little bit and zoom in for you. Does dry brushing even work? Because I'd never, just trying to think. don't know, if you just sort of, it's more of a trial and error. This is only, like I said, remember guys, this is like the first time that I've used this paint. I've even opened a bottle, which is today, and put a paintbrush in it, so just bear with me. Some of you guys, they've used it for a little bit longer, maybe a week or two, even a couple of weeks. So you've kind of got the hang of what it can and can't do. But what I'm thinking, the brush painting part, I'm not really so convinced about. You can brush paint to a certain point. Maybe painting like on dioramas, like getting the brown and painting wood, like wooden posts for a fence or something like that. Yeah, but I'm sort of kind of having troubles actually brush painting. I mean, it's taken quite a few coats, and that's 3. Okay, that's 3 layers. And then we're going to bust out the green again. And then we're just going to go over. And I'm putting it on fairly thick too, like there's just, I'm just not having any luck kind of at brush painting it. So, then I'm gonna give it one more chance straight out of the bottle. That was with the thinners in it. And I'm only adding the retarder into it, like it's the retarder type, just because I know how quick these SMS paints do dry, or the old ones do anyway. Yeah, Scotty, if you are watching and there is like a tiny bit of retarder in this paint to slow down the drying time, let me know. So that's straight out of the bottle, and that's on the second coat. So yeah, you can dry brush, I mean you can brush paint with it, but it's not the easiest thing to do. Maybe like if you're painting like boots or a leather belt, maybe quickly on a figure, but maybe just, yeah, it's like it's the same as Tamiya paint. Like Tamiya paint, like when I say Tamiya paint, I'm talking about, you know, like their acrylic, you know, the hybrid acrylics here. These are really hard to brush paint too, but if you add their retarder to it, it makes it easier, but it's not a true so-called brushable paint. So yeah, well, that's kind of not disappointing, but I would have liked to seen, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm doing something wrong, so don't assume just because I'm not having any success with it, don't think that you won't. So, you know, it could be the brush I'm using, it could be a lot of factors, it could be that I'm using this, yeah, who knows. But we're going to give the airbrush a quick prime up or a crack, and we're going to have a look using the same colors. All right, we're going to be using the lime green that Dwayne wants to see, and we're going to be using the zinc that Pom built modeling. That's so funny. So where'd I put that? So that's there on that. So, and all I had in this yesterday was X20A, well, during the demonstration. So I'm just going to get, turn my air compressor on. She's a bit noisy because this one's about to die, and I've got a replacement sitting in a box behind me, but I just haven't had the time to break it down and repair it, because I've got a actual whole new compressor to fit over this tank. So all I'm doing is getting the Tamiya Lacquer Thinners And some of you guys yesterday, there's a couple of other guys watching the background too. Now, whether there was some that wanted to actually see the airbrushing part, not the paint part. So if this is the part you want to see, like, this is the time to ask questions, guys, because I can. All right, so I'm just spraying it out. All right, so, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the Lacquer Thinners with the retarder in it, retarder type. So we're just gonna, with a dropper, put a little tiny bit in there. It's probably, geez, only right down the bottom here. That's how much thinners I'm putting in it. There's not much at all. So we're just gonna go with the lime green first, because I know trying to spray out this zinc is going to be a pain in the ass. So we're going to tip a bit. So I might get rid of some of this thinners, a bit like a fair bit in there. Alright, so put a bit out. And they say 50-50, so let's try, let's see if that's 50-50. Hang on a sec. And I try and put the thinners in first too, guys. If you're new to airbrushing, try and put your thinners in first, because if you put your paint in first and there's chunky bits or whatever it is down the bottom, that'll sort of work its way to the needle first. You put your thinners in first, at least it's got a chance to break down those chunky bits. And just give it a bit of a mix. And like I said, doesn't matter if you're using acrylics or lacquers or even enamels, it's the same general rule, just milk consistency, that's about right. And then we'll start off with that, and then we'll start adding more drops as we go along. And I'm just gonna grab some tissue paper, just some old kitchen towel, give the airbrush a wipe. Okay. Crank your pressure down, okay? Especially with lacquers, you don't want to be go blasting it full ball, because it's going to dry real quick. Guys that use their regulators, and I'm going to go through it again. So if you're at the tutorial or the how-to yesterday at the hobby shop, remember what I said with the guys that use regulators. If you don't have a Mac valve and if you're relying on the regulator, you're probably going to be spraying about 10, 12 psi. You know, when you're spraying lacquers, but with your Mac valve, you can just crank it all the way down, and after a while, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've got a Mac valve and you're new to using a Mac valve and you've just come off using the regulator on your air tank, play around with the air pressure, say sort of get it onto 20. Yeah, that's normally 20 is where you're spraying at your air gun. That's actually cleaning pressure, as I call it. Spray it on your hand, get the feel for what 20 psi feels like, and then turn it back down to 12, 10, and then spray. Obviously, if no paint in it, guys, just an empty cup, you know, just a clean airbrush, and just spray it on your hand. Get the feel for what that air feels like, because in that way, because I can tell you now, my compressor's down on the left-hand side of me on the floor, and it's a pain in the ass trying to bend over every time when I'm changing colors. You know, turn the pressure up to spray it out, turn it back down while I'm spraying the model. With the Mac valve, you just turn it down when you're spraying, cleaning, you turn it back up, okay? So as I'm spraying, I'm just checking it, turning the Mac valve down. I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just, see that's completely off. Turn on a little bit, and you can hear it going up and down, the pressure increasing, decreasing, all right? So, but just leave your air pressure up, like your regulator up on your compressor, because I've got a tank on it, so it just automatically shuts off. So it's sitting around about 20, 25 right now. So you just fill it down. So turn your pressure down and check it, that's spraying before you temp the model. So that's spraying quite nicely. All right, so we're gonna spray this with the green. All right, let's see if I can get, I don't know if it's me or it's my eyes, but the light seems very poor today, but yeah. I'm still too close. You can't see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so that still, to me, seems a little bit thick on the model. I don't know if you can see it. I'll just put this bit of airbrush down in the holder, and if I bring you in, I don't know if you can, it's not, see how it's not really that smooth? That's not the paint, guys. It's not SMS's or anything. I'm not saying it's what I've done. I haven't thinned it out enough. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this cup again, and we're just going to dump, just show you how much paint's in there. Okay, we're just going to dump the rest of that in there. That's a little bit more. Remember, you can always add it, but you can't take it out. Okay, so just little bit by little bit, especially while you're learning. I'm learning too, guys. Remember, this is like my first time using this advanced paint, so it's all trial and error. Just get... all right, so we'll try again. Get some of this paint out. That's better. Right, so we'll turn it down a little bit more. Okay, so, and don't be, oh, and that's what I was saying yesterday too, guys. Perfect example is when you're spraying, like don't load as you're spraying, and then you suddenly stop. There's going to be paint sitting on your needle. If you don't clear that out, and you start spraying on your model, you're going to get that. So it's all splattered. So just either on the side, clear it, hit the air down, and then continue spraying. All right, so, but, well, as a spray, it's like spraying the SMS Advance, I'm really happy with it. Like, wow. Like, the gloss is really nice, and I don't really have a lot of gloss colors in my range, so I think these will come in handy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this off. I'm just going to try and fill this, and on the second half, I'm going to add some of the, wherever I put it. What did I do with it? Flat, there it is. No, that's the new bottle. What did I do with the old bottle? Are you serious? What did I do with it? No, don't care. We'll grab a new bottle. I've got the flat clear, so we're going to add to the paint, trying to knock this sheen down. Or if you're worried about it, guys, you can just spray some clear coat over that, and that'll knock that down as well, back to a gloss. All right, so I'm going to get this flat clear, give it a shake. This is from the original, and I don't see why, if you have the advanced version of this, okay, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do this as well. So same thing, because it is thicker, just thin it out. If you've got to mix it separately, if you're worried about adding too much and then thinning your paint out too much, thin this out separately in a little container, or even in a spare glass jar. And I know SMS do sell the backup jars. So if you do that, mix it up, label it, and just say, you know, flat, clear, thinned, and then that way you can just add it to your paint as you go, because you may want a satin finish. Okay, you may not want a full gloss, but because there's already the airbrush, or I call the airbrush range, the old range, you can. I'm just going to put a bit in here. All right, so a little bit. and then so I've put a little bit in there, probably about, I would say I've probably put about 30% of the flat clear to how much paint was left in the cup. Okay, so just gonna give it a bit of a stir. Okay, so put the cap back on, and then because we've only added the original, the paint that we had in there still at the front, so we've got to clear that and get this this newer version or newer mix down the needle with the clear coat through it. So we're just going to give it a bit of a blast, and I'm going to see if there's going to be any difference, okay, like how much, whether we need to add more, how much this changes the opacity of the paint. So you remember, the more clear you add to any paint, it's going to change the opacity. It's going to be like, start to clear up, so you start making tints and candies and stuff with it. Okay, so we haven't added any more thinner, we've just added more paint. Okay, all right, so you can see straight away the opacity's changed, but you can see that it's lost that gloss, okay, compared to that side where it's really shiny. I don't know, I'll try and get this light sort of popping on it. There you go. You see where the light's really, where the shine's coming off that gloss. Now up here it's really dull, but we're going to build this up, and I'm actually going to turn it down, because what I want is, I just want to lay this down a little bit thicker, but I don't want to move the paint around too much. So okay, so how are we going to hold this? We're going to hold it down the bottom here like so. See if this works. Okay, so and I'm being fairly okay, so Scotty's just commented, says, hey Clem, with the hand brushing, treat Advance the same way you would like of Tamiya, Mr. Color, a drop or two of leveler, and use it for small areas and touch-ups rather than big areas. Oh, there you go, there's a brilliant tip. I knew I was doing something wrong. So and I know with the old Tamiya paints, like I'd use brown, like a flat brown, and I'd just be using it for painting boots on 1/35 figures, belts and things like that. But yeah, so oh, there's a good tip. So the leveler, so Scotty's saying add a bit of that. Do you just add that neat to the paint, Scott? Like, I don't need to like thin the advanced paint out, just a drop or two, and use it that way. Bang bang boom, I fall into the room. Lacquers reacts more than solvents are applied too thickly, so you'll get brush strokes and the paints will get tacky and lifts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but this is more. So I'll be treating this more like the Tamiya paints more than anything. So yeah, but gloss. Thanks, Scott. You're a legend, mate. So here we go. Adding the. And obviously, because of the opacity, I've added the clear coat to this advanced paint. I've got to build this up a little bit more because of the transparency. And obviously, the more clear you add, or the more flat you add, the flatter it's going to get. And I've actually added quite a fair bit. But the paint still being very thin, we're not losing detail, okay? So remember, it's all about, well, for me anyway, it's about laying the paint on thin, keeping the detail on the model, and she's empty. All right, so let's have a quick look at this. All right, so I wish I was filming this in 1080. I might have to do another version in like full HD just to really show you guys. But that's the the lime green just on its own with the thinners. I've thinned that out, okay, along here, so you can see the shine along here. Spin it around, you can see the difference when I've added the flat clear to it, and it's really knocked it back, okay? So if you're sort of thinking, if you're hesitating on buying this paint because it's gloss, don't, guys, because you can easily just change it by adding the flat clear or the semi-gloss clear, or if you want to really make it translucent and keeping that clear sheen or the glossy sheen to it, just add some clear to it, guys. So, but that's that one. This is the one I really wanted to look at. So, and this will be this will be the last one. Have a look before I end the stream. But that was good that Scotty jumped in and really cleared things up, because I don't really get a chance to talk to Scotty a lot because he's a busy man and so am I. So I'm going to get rid of this green out of the airbrush. And actually, I'm going to do this properly. Since it's a live stream, I have to edit it. You've just got to bear with me, guys. I'm just going to chuck down some black onto this. And so all we're going to do, hopefully I've got some left. Yes. I've got some SMS primer blacks there, surfacer primer. So we're just going to lay some of this down quickly. All right. Scott's a legend. I message him a lot on Facebook. Yes. Really nice guy. If you've never met Scott before, I've had a pleasure of talking to him quite a few times on video chats. Haven't had the chance to meet him in person yet, but hopefully one day at a model show somewhere when I go down to Melbourne or he comes up to Brisbane. Okay, so I'm not going to, and for some reason I always thin my SMS paint. I think it's not, like, call me weird, but I don't know, I just like to even just add just a little bit in there. Like, there's hardly anything in there, guys, so don't stress. I'm not making it and flooding it. Must be like just OCD or something. Alright, so yes, I'm weird. And then we have Airy Styrene in the chat. Alright, so we're just giving that a little. So with my primers, I've only put the standard thinner in there. I haven't put retarder. Yes, oh yeah, I love, and I've had guys, Scott, tell me that you shouldn't thin SMS paint, and I said, look, you kind of do how you feel comfortable spraying. If you're happy spraying it without thinner, go for it, if that's how you feel. But for me, I spray kind of I spray very thin paint, because I like to build up in layers. Okay, so I'm just adding the black, and then what I'm going to do, just so I can see what the heck I'm doing. I can't find it. I've normally got like a little box that I lay all my models on, or that I'm to adjust them so I don't have to touch it. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is. So we're just going to, okay, this is not how to lay down primer neatly. This is not, so don't take this as a tutorial. I'm just chucking this down really quick for this video, just so I can get this metallics down to zinc, because I really don't want to be spraying on a white or a green base, because that'll defy what I'm trying to show you. But I love this airbrush, Scott. I'm glad I got this. It's like I was... Oh, while I've got you here, Scotty, while you're watching, bring out thinny sticks, skinny sanders. In the hobby shop this week, we had a discussion about your sanding sticks, how much people like them. But in the same conversation, yeah, it come up that they'd wish that SMS bought out skinny sanders, and you need to do it because I use mine more than any of the regular sanders that I have. So alright, so I'm just chucking this on. Alright, this is not... So there you go. That's just... It's pretty much how the SMS... yes, do it. Because, yeah, like... I'm going to turn these around, so... where is it? I'm just going to my sanding drawer. Like, you'll probably laugh at my sanding drawer, Scott, how many sanders I've got. But I'm going to take it out of the packet so no other company names are shown. That is what I use all the time, and I normally chop for the zinc. Make sure to apply a few coats. A larger flake size spaces out a little, so it needs a couple of coats to get the full coverage. It's so good having you here in the chat. It helps me out too, and it's helping the viewers out as well, so appreciate it, Scott. Thanks for taking the time to joining us here in the chat on the video. But yeah, make some skinny sticks. Do it. Alright, so we're just going to give this a little bit, just a couple of minutes for this to dry. And then I'm just going to prep this airbrush, get her a bit of a clean. Because she's looking a bit, how you going? Bit dirty. Used it once, but more into cars at the time. But yeah, dude. I'm seeing what you build, Aries. Your cars, your trucks. Second for the third. Yes, see, there you go. There's 2 votes in the one video, Scott. Get them skinny sticks out. No, yeah, seeing what you spray and what you've built, like your cars, your Ferraris and all that, like this, Andrew. Oh, red. But are you going to be releasing more colors? There you go. Skinny sticks, please, Scott. Yeah, see, there's 3. So, so the military colors. And are you gonna be releasing them in matte, like matte colors, or are they all gonna be in gloss? Okay, just coffee. Yes. I think Wookie Aries, I think Chris uses the SMS. I think he gets his, I think I put him onto the Gundam store, USA. I think they're down in Florida. He loves them, like, but Chris is a paint whore like me though, so like any good product, he'll just go out and buy it. Okay, so here's the zinc. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about this paint, and I'm very keen to try it out. Alright, so we're just going to have a quick read I'm going to go back through the comments. And if you're not sure, guys, too, just scroll back through the comments, because we do have Scott Taylor or the Scar Modeler Supply here in the chat to answer any of your questions as well, as including mine. Now, this wasn't planned, but this is, it's been awesome to have Scott here. It says, for the zinc, make sure, so he's talking about this one here, guys, the zinc. So for the zinc, make sure to apply a few coats. The larger flake size spaces out a little, so it needs a couple of coats to get the full coverage. Okay, so, oops, hang on, what have I done here? Okay. All right. So I've just got my other phone beside me, and I've just got the stream on there, and then it's kind of, you can't really see it, but it's up there on the computer monitor. I can't really disconnect this camera at the moment because it's a pain in the backside. But yeah, all right, so we're gonna get the zinc, get the airbrush, and Florida be over the border. No way I'm paying. Oh, okay, so you get stung for US to Canada postage. Did not know that. All right, so I'm just going to add some thinners in here, and then I've already given this a shake, so just going to dump some in there. All right. And it's good that Scarl Orders is only 10 minutes from home, so if I have to, and it's pretty much on the way home from work too, so I can just sort of drop in. And because they open, I think, because Shane works during the day, he doesn't open that store full time throughout the year, so it's normally open from 3:30 in the afternoon till 6 at night, on the weekdays, that is. And yeah, so it's convenient because most hobby shops, or that I used to go to, they're only open till about 5:30, some even 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it become a huge inconvenience for not just myself, but people that finish work late or later. Yes, yeah, oh yeah, very, like this range of paints. I don't want to call you Palm Built Modeling, that just sounds weird. Could I just call you P? Pete, what is your name? Can I call you by something? It just feels very disrespectful to not call you by your real name. But yeah, I walked into Scarl Autos the other day, I think it was last week, and then wasn't even looking at the counter, and I looked up at the counter, and then they were in the hole that he got in the Luke. Okay, all right, Luke. So yeah, walked in Scarl Autos. They had the paint rack just sitting on the advanced paint rack sitting on the counter, and I was like looking at it, going, ooh. I think I bought like 4, 5. I bought 5 bottles that day to try out. I said to Shane, look, can I? This is the Scarl Auto sponsors this channel as well, so I mean they're a big help, and without them guys, this video wouldn't even be possible. So walked in there, bought 5 bottles, come home, had a look, done the video, uploaded it, and said, look, I've got to get more. So I walked in the store, I think maybe 2 days later, bought what I thought I bought the whole range. I come home and I missed out on the 3rd row. I think it was from like all the pinks and purples and the blue row. Rang him up that afternoon. I said, Shane, this was last Saturday that I went in there and bought them all. And then it was like Tuesday, maybe Wednesday this week, I went back in and bought the other 9. So yeah, and that's how I ended up with the full range. So minus the clears. All right, so oops, what's going on here? Okay, what have I done? Got a blockage somewhere. Tamir, Canada was 7 minutes from me in Markham, and I couldn't ever get anything. Why is that? Why was that Aries? Okay, so why is this not? Oh, there we go. Must have been like a little bit of chunky stuff laying in the bottom. Alright, so all I'm doing is distributor only. Okay, so I'm just gonna test run it. It seems pretty thin, so I'm gonna turn this pressure way down, and I'm gonna build just your little test run on the back. Alright, so okay, so you can see I'm almost tempted to thin this out even more. So I'm gonna use the retarder type. I'm gonna run some thinners in here. Boo. So by the looks of this, you can thin this stuff a lot. So just gonna mix inside, turn mix it. All right. That's better. Alright, so they barely knew that, they knew what was on their shelves most of the time. My dealer, hobby shop, show up with stuff that hadn't been seen in years. Yeah, add a little more thinner and bump up here so it'll push the flakes through. Alright. Okay, so this is an interesting colour, Scott. Very interesting colour. Can you guys see it clear enough? Do I need to zoom in, or are you guys happy? Okay, so. And then what I'm going to do is, once this is dry, I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to put this on a black background for you so you can really see, because I think the white background just kills it, makes it too bright. There you go. Just going to open the needle a bit more. What is the color's name? Okay, the color's name is Zinc. That's it there. So it's the Advance range, and that's just Zinc. But and luckily the day I walked in the store to pick up the first big bulk buy of this paint range, the shipment of the Zinc had come in store, so I was the first one to grab the restock out of the box. I should have bought more. I'm going to buy more. This color's just holy crap. This is nuts. It's hard to explain what this, I'm just going to let this first coat settle a bit before I lay on the, okay, so that was, that's how much paint I've still got in the cup. Okay, so I'm going to give it a few minutes to settle. If you guys got any questions that you want to ask the Scalp Molar Supply in chat, it was anyone else's experiences that you've had that you want to share. If there's anything that you want to see, now's the time to jump out and ask questions, guys, because I pretty much I've only got enough time to really do videos once a week, and it's Sunday, and the rest of the time I'm truck driving, so yeah, I'm pretty busy these days, guys, so if you got anything to ask, now is the time. But if you watch this back later, you're watching it and you manage to watch through the whole video at a later date after it's been uploaded to YouTube, I can always get onto get onto the questions. So the zinc has a slight fleck to the finish, which would be great for replicating sparkly candy finishes for doing zinc gower roofing on railroad buildings, etc. Ooh, and then adding like a rusty filter to it. And this is the other one I haven't managed to get time to do, and it's going to come now that I keep changing my room and upgrading everything, and just things don't work. And I'm trying to think, this mixed with zinc would be mind-blowing. So yeah, if this is a video, I'll probably do what I might do is when I do end this stream, I might do like a live stream on this, a review on this one. So this is something I've wanted to do for a while. There you go, it's going to happen today. So stay tuned if you want to see it. The camera's picking up all the flakes, looks grainy, but I know that is just a camera. Yeah, well, that's just because I'm streaming, but once it gets uploaded, I think it comes out a lot clearer once it's uploaded. But this is only the first layer too, Aries. I'm about to hit it with a second layer. So, as recommended by the guys at Scar Molar Supply. So we're just going to, all right. So coat number 2, and that's pretty dry. I can touch it and nothing comes off of my finger. All right, so here we go. Yeah, that second layer really sort of, you can see like the black undercoat, especially on the roof and on the bonnet, but once on the sides here, once I've laid down the second coat, all that just disappears. So, okay, and yes, I wonder how a clear orange or red would look over it. I don't have any. That's something I don't have in my SMS range, is the clears. It's something I'm going to have to get. But I'm pretty sure for a test I could just try bust out like the Tamiya clear, because I don't have any of the, I mean, there's only just so many paints I can fit on my rack. I'd love to fill it more. I'd love to have another rack in here, but yeah, I've got to find somewhere to put these now too. It's like I don't know where I'm going to put them, honestly. Okay, so wow, this is what I'm thinking is this would be, I don't know, I've got a Batmobile, what do you call it? Batman. A Batmobile feel here. So this would almost be a really cool undercoat, and then get some chipping fluid over it with a clear coat, and then spray a black or just various shades of dark greys to blacks on the top of this. I mean, this second coat, I'm just gonna smash it because it's already thin, and I'm not gonna hurt it because of how thin this paint is. But yeah, I don't think I'll go too crazy with it, but that's fairly well covered. And oh my god, that is, should turn the compressor off for now, and I'm just going to get some, as promised, I'm going to get this black background, and I'm going to lay that on there. I mean, you can just see, just once that camera picks up, get rid of this to cancel, hang on. Hang on a sec, there you go. Yeah, so you can see like on the black, like how just wow. this doesn't do it any justice. Like seeing what I'm seeing in front of me on this camera is not doing this any justice, guys. So what I'm going to do, actually what I might do right now, if I can, hang on. Where is it? Where's my camera? I'm going to take a photo of this, and I'm just trying to think it without the, because I've got the window behind me open, so that's sort of kind of hurting the, no flash, 4:3, hang on. Damn it. Okay, so I'm just going to upload this photo to the Outback Mini Models Facebook page. I'm not going to call it anything. I'm just going to call it. Hang on. So we're just going to call it videos. Where is it? I remember how to use my Samsung. Photos. Boom. Done. And we're going to call this SMS Advance Zinc. So share that. So if you want to pop over and have a look, it's probably better what you're seeing on camera. So, whoops, hang on. Share. Alright, so she's up. Alright, so you pop over there and have a look. Once it wants to, come on, man. What's there? There it is. So she's live on the Facebook page. So if you want to pop out and have a look, I mean, this is like, holy cow. It's smooth. Like you can feel the pigment, like the metallic flakes through it. I mean, that's natural. Like, of course you're going to feel them, but I was expecting to be like, I look like, hi everybody. No, just kidding. Yeah, like I was expecting to feel like to be really rough, like sandpaper, but as a matter of fact, it's not. It's actually quite. Hang on a sec. I'm just trying to get all this stuff sorted. Yeah, it's actually quite smooth. So with a clear coat over it, it's going to be quite nice, and you know, with pin washers and everything, it's would pop. So if you like this color, I would definitely recommend. I mean, if I can bring you in close, you can see the flakes that are in. So I just bumped the camera boom, the boom arm, and again. So there you go. If I can just show you, I know it's probably going to be pixely while I'm live streaming, but once this gets uploaded, I want to end the stream and it gets uploaded in at least 720. You'll see it a lot easier. So yeah, really nice, really nice. So I will probably save. I'll let this. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna let this. I'm not gonna do nothing to it now because this will be a really cool test bed for future videos, showing what the advanced range can do here at Outback Mini Models. So what I'm gonna do is, whether you want me to end the stream and I'll start up a separate video and we can have a look at this rust, which is probably what I might do. So if you want to see what this SMS rust set looks like, I haven't even opened this yet, guys. This was given to me by the guys at Scarlord as Hobbies when they first got it in and said, Clem, you've got to take this home and try it and do a review for us. So yeah, so this will definitely be coming up in the next video straight after this. So I mean, and I'm going to end this one, guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in. Let me just pop. Hang on. Let me see. I can't even. There you go. So let me show you my face so I don't feel so rude. So yeah, thanks for tuning into this video. It's great to have you guys input and just let me know what your thoughts. It's been a pleasure having you here with us too, Scott, to help us out, helping me along, because this is new. It's not like I can just open up a book and all the instructions are there on how to use this stuff. So thank you very much. Yeah, what do you think of the new shirts here at Outback Mini Models? Like that, and then got all the the SMS stuff. We made this at, so if you guys are interested, I mean, I probably don't think I'll be able to sell these with the SMS logos and stuff without Scotty's permission or anything. So, but yeah, but if you guys want an Outback shirt, probably with your own brands on it, you let me know. Yeah, let me know, message me, and for an Outback shirt, we'll get something running. I think I'm probably going to sell these for about probably $35-40 postage, just because I've actually got to hand make all these logos and print them all out, and a bit of labour involved. So yeah, if you want one, yeah, let me know. PM me on Outback Mini Models on the Facebook page. So I'm going to end this one, and we're going to have a look at these straight up. So stick around. We'll see you in about 10 minutes. All right, see you, fellas. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like this video if you liked it, and as always, happy modelling, stay safe. See you, boys. Bye.